Mexico. Thank you all for coming out today and making this day the turning point. Now, we have been, as a state, on the forefront of labeling in the country. In December of last year, we worked with Senator Peter Wirth in Santa Fe to introduce Senate Bill 18, which would require labeling in the state of New Mexico. We already require labeling. Senate Bill 18 was an amendment to the New Mexico Food Act, which required labeling for sugar, salt, calories. All we wanted was to add one line, GMO or no. And unfortunately, Monsanto heard about it and they came to town. The bill was killed behind closed doors, but it was not all for a loss. It was the first piece of legislation in the country that came out of the box after Proposition 37. So we got a lot of international press, and our Senator Peter Wirth was interviewed all over the world. So every one of these state plans helps. Now we have colleagues in Connecticut, in Washington State, and Florida who are doing this work there, and we will get labeling in one of these states pretty soon. And today, let today be the tipping point so that we will no longer tolerate a chemical corporation taking control of our food system. So after the Senate bill died, we were successful in passing a resolution in Santa Fe which supported labeling. And right now, they're working on a resolution to ban the planting of GMOs in the county of Santa Fe. So now, I want to thank Dr. Milne. We are so lucky to have him in our community. Thank you, Bruce. And I want to tell you some of the things we can do to get what we want, because the day is past that our government can take care of our needs. It is our responsibility, and it is we are feeding our children. We need to have choices. The USDA has dropped the ball. They're trying to feed us genetically engineered salmon, and we will not buy it. So Senator Barbara Boxer has asked the Farm Bill to take a look at a federal standard on labeling. Well, it's not going very well. So what do we do? So people ask me early on in this fight, and by the way, Food and Water Watch works on this issue all year round. So people ask me, how did this happen? Well, it wasn't a coincidence. Monsanto is a chemical company that was founded in 1901, and over the years, they acquired other chemical companies, and they now own saccharin, which is a major supplier of Coca-Cola. They make PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls. Between 1962 and 1971, the Air Force sprayed 4 million acres of South Vietnam with 18 million gallons of Monsanto-produced Agent Orange. No good. The results of this are still being felt there today. It's a sin. So what happens to a chemical corporation after the war's over? They are finding some market for their chemicals. And so they started this really kind of nifty little plan to produce Roundup Ready seeds. And so if you buy Roundup Ready seeds, you got to buy Roundup. And now what's happening, as Dr. Milne mentioned, superweeds. What are they? They are resistant to Roundup. So what do you think Monsanto's doing? They're starting a new herbicide. And you know what the killer ingredient is? Agent Orange. We're going to be eating this stuff. So these are real good reasons to do what we're doing today and to continue this all year round. So what do we do now? Our job is to build the voice of the people. Our job is to let our lawmakers know that we will not tolerate this and that they work for us. And if they don't do what we want will vote them out. So the well-being of our food system is on the line. We need to let our government on every level know that what we want is labeling, and ultimately labeling will eliminate. Now, you may have heard of irradiated foods. You don't see those in the markets anymore because we and other organizations succeeded in having them labeled. Look, these corporations think we're stupid. If they label it, you think we're going to buy it? Come on, we're going to vote with our dollar. We are not going to give them any money. You can do this. This movement is based on the very principles that founded this country. People say to me, how can we do this? And I want to remind you, in this country, we once had slavery. We don't anymore. How did it happen? With grassroots organization like ours. Women once did not have the right to vote. How did we get the right to vote? We demanded it, and we demand the right to know what we're putting on our plates. It's time to take control of our food system. Today, we kick off a campaign right here in Albuquerque. In October, we have an election, and it's a very contentious city council election. If you folks who are here in Albuquerque, find out who are your candidates. Call them or email and say, do you support labeling? And find out whether or not they will support your right to know. And vote those people in who will support your right to know. Yeah, so please get involved. And don't let today go down in history. Let this be the beginning of one thing. If everyone does one thing, together we can do this. So I want to ask you, everyone here, to do 3 things. First, vote with your dollar. Learn what foods are produced by the 4 or 5 agribusiness in the country. Do your best to avoid them. And unfortunately, we can't all afford to shop at Whole Foods, buy organic. The majority of our population are still going to be going to Walmart, but that's our population. They also have the right to know what's in the food. Walmart is the biggest grocer in the country. They have huge political power. They are the ones that are telling the farmers what to plant. They need to know that we will not tolerate it anymore. So go to your grocer, go to your grocer and say, I want you, Albertsons, whatever, Smith's, I want you to tell me, does this have GMOs in it? I want you to label it so I will know whether or not it contains poisonous food. Support your local growers. You might think you have choices at the grocery store, but if you look closely, you'll see that most of these products are all made by PepsiCo, and you think you're buying a better product, and you're buying a PepsiCo product. Second, when you go home tonight, don't let this day go into history without action. Each one of you call or email 5 other people and ask them, tell them what you've learned here today, and tell them that this is serious. This is a grave situation. You heard the ramifications of eating GMOs from Dr. Milne. This is not safe. It won't be long before we find more diseases, more maladies, more things that are a result. The real truth is we don't know what the results. The USDA won't do studies. This is a self-regulated industry, and we don't believe what they tell us. They have squelched so many of these studies that we have tried to bring into the public. So tonight, please reach out to 5 other people, if everyone here will do that, and ask them to reach out to 5 more. This is grassroots. This is our country. We are responsible for what happens here. The third thing, sign up with us, Food and Water Watch, or with an organization that speaks to you. Get involved. We have people all around here in the crowd taking petition signatures. We'll get in touch with you. If everyone here will do one thing, we together can get this work done. We're on Facebook. We're on foodandwaterwatch.org. We work year-round on these issues, and we need help. I'm the only person in New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and Arizona for Food and Water Watch. You are the real backbone of this movement. And now, I want to say something to Monsanto and all the other agribusiness, because I want to tell you, they're here in the crowd, and they are listening.
Yeah! Woo!
Listen, Monsanto, Syngenta, Dow, all of you chemical companies that found a market for your chemicals in our food system, listen well. Listen. Individually, solitarily, and alone, we are small. But together we can fight you, and we will. And you are not going to prevail. We are not going to buy your products. Do you hear this? Because I know you're here. Because I know who you are.
Oh.
Your time has come. 63 other countries in the world require labeling. Now, why don't we? Because you're an American corporation. So what? We are America. We will not buy your products. We won't feed that food to our children. We will bring you down. We will prevail, and we will win this battle. And you know why? Because we are not going away. Thank you.